We're absolutely just sitting still in our SuperCoach squad at the moment. It's lost another 79 ranks, so just under 1400 there at 1393. Team value still sitting okay. We've got 2 trades remaining, and yeah, it's just a tough little run at the moment. We're just scoring okay each every week. We're having multiple guys that just are underperforming. Unfortunately, we haven't got our captaincy right in a few weeks either, since Nico had that massive 140 odd. And really, I should just be slapping the captaincy on Kalen Ponga every week. That would have worked well for the last couple of months, that's for sure. Probably 6 weeks there. This week I went for Garrick, and when he got ankle tapped and was a meter from the line and decided to pass it and got no assists, got no nothing for that one, that was great. Obviously, watching that, he did get the try earlier on and then should have that second. So that would have got him into around the 75 or 80 mark there once he kicked that goal as well. So yeah, frustrating on that front, because that's just obviously an extra 50 points that we're missing out on, and it just seems to be that each and every week. Thankfully for myself in this one, there was no injuries. Woohoo! We did miss out on getting to play Isaac Tungo. He didn't end up playing. We had Malatalo in there, who we haven't played in the last few weeks, and we had Adam Fanua-Blake and Tohu Harris on their bye. So in terms of our bench guys, there was obviously a few guys missing, and we had some low ones from Nico at 22. So for those that had Cleary instead of Nico, that was a big leg up there on that one. Moses for 82 was fine if you're comparing him to Cleary on that front. We had Grant, we had Hopgood still. Munster, as I bring in a couple of weeks ago, with 80. Ponga, as we said, just absolutely dominating. Tapane was fine. I was hoping for more out of Asako too with the 49, considering they were playing the Dogs. He got a try as well, so that's a very low score with a few goal kicks, and did miss that one at the end to win the match for him. Fafita with a better game in this one at 88. He still isn't performing like he was, during and before the Origin series, but that's okay. He'll keep climbing from that. Brian To'o was a really solid one at 84, so he's been good the last couple of weeks for me. Greg Marzu, the 69. Horsburgh was the big issue there at 39, and I brought in Matt Lodge this week for his 56. So he's just going to be one of those guys that if I do have multiple injuries in the last few weeks, guys like Lodge will be able to cover in that one for sure. Also brought in Cam Murray for 78. And then Walker's 58. He did get updated, thankfully, from 41. But he was my vice captain this week instead of Ponga. Again, decisions, right? But yeah, Walker's 58. We would have been hoping for more against a lesser side. And hopefully it does improve on from here with Cody. And we have some decisions going into this week, obviously, at the moment. So I've changed a couple of things. I've popped Adam Fanua-Blake back onto my reserves list. At this stage where we're not playing Tohu Harris, we'll have to see if that's the correct decision. Obviously, if you got some attacking stats in this one coming up, then that would work well. But they do have a 4-forward bench, and I suppose Fanua-Blake has the higher average, more chance of scoring a try, so we have to be playing him. But I think minutes for both Harris and Fanua-Blake might be a little bit down on their norm. We've seen Tohu Harris the last sort of 2 to 3 weeks there, having limited minutes. He was sick in one of them, but I doubt he was going to play 80, even if he was well. 104k in the bank, and some questions now arise. So we still have Isaac Tungo, who hasn't been named in the starting side, and we obviously want his scoring at that price, unfortunately averaging 70 for the year. So the question now is, if he doesn't play, do I trade him to like a Latrell? Do we go to like Dallin Martinez-Lesniak? Do we go to a Chance? Do we do something like that? Because that's definitely on the radar. We have 2 trades remaining, and we want to use them wisely. If you look at the squad right now, like Joey Manu is probably our issue, but I'd say he'll score better in this one. They're not playing the Broncos this week, and he should be better for the run. You got Sarko there. I could select Tohu Harris easily on the reserves instead of him, which would work fine, obviously. The other guys in our centre wing, Garrick, To'o, and Marzu, we're very, very happy with. Ponga, obviously there. So just a couple of guys that we wish that we had someone else. But yeah, that's most people at the moment. Our 2RF is very solid. Obviously, having Fafita is good. We don't have Cleary, but I think this week it could be a Moses captaincy against the Dragons there. Yeah, didn't exactly work for DCE last week, but I think that Moses obviously kicking goals as well, and they really need to win. My goodness, they need to win. So he still got the 82 last week with them getting smashed. So definitely think there's room for growth, and he has had a bunch of big tons. So I think he's going to be the play this week. But yeah, that question mark around who we bring in. I was looking at the 2RF. We obviously don't need anyone there. Don't need anyone in the front row forward. Hooker, I think we're going to try and save one for that if there is an injury to Grant. Turpin, unfortunately, has lost his spot now, so it's a bit of a fall from grace from him after he was doing really well, made about 100k in a few weeks for me, and then all went downhill from there. When Smithy came back, Mulatalo's been named, so I suppose we've got him as the cover, which will probably just stick and leave there. So really, it is that question of Latrell. Considering I have a few Bunnies players and Cody Walker, and also Cam Murray there, do we go for a Latrell? I definitely think it could be the right play. Or do we, as I said, do we go for one of those Warriors guys in Watini-Zelezniak or Chance? And that's if I am trading Tago. Otherwise, I can't really get to one of those guys, especially if I'm looking to trade like a Ronaldo. I could definitely move on Manu, but again, their matchups become a little bit easier from here, and that would feel a little bit reactionary given he's averaging 64. But that is him playing a bunch of games at fullback and at 6. So yeah, it's very interesting with Joey there, what we should be doing, and that definitely could be the play. And if I was to do that, to upgrade to Latrell, it's a big upgrade, obviously. And then we've still got Isaac Tago to come back either this week or next week coming. So yeah, it's been a tough sort of month for the Supercoach side, and we're still hanging in. I still think we can get in the top 1,000. I'd imagine there's going to be a bunch of teams that are ahead of me. Yeah, statistically speaking, you'd imagine so. Odds are that there are plenty of teams there that have 0 trades remaining, and an injury there to Jack DeBellin, a suspension to Jack DeBellin, a suspension to Val Holmes. You're seeing multiple people have at least one of them, so that could be really, really hurtful. Or that uses their last trade, and if something happens to some of their important players, then maybe I can catch up just leaving that one in the bank this week. I could also not trade at all and keep the 2. But I think we'll have to find out a little bit more on Tago. And if we do find out more on him, we'll obviously won't trade him. And then we probably would hold Joey Manu then. Or we could just go for an extra launch play, as I said, and get one of those Warriors guys for the run home or Latrell, so that we can go to the bank those last 5 rounds and absolutely dominate. So yeah, probably all I need to say on the Supercoach front, guys. The guys that you want to be getting in are the Clearys and the like, but would you trade Hines to them? Would you trade Moses to them? I don't think so. Moses is a big jump now, given he's 738. Hines is 826, and remember, he won't be playing Panthers anymore for the rest of the season. I don't think they'll make the finals, so probably not at all. But yeah, would you trade any of those two? Would you trade a Walker or a Munster? If you had Jules and stuff, I don't think so. So yeah, it's going to be a tough one if you do need to get Cleary. Johnson's the other one, who has a really, really nice run. Would you trade one of these guys to them? I don't think so. Just seems like, if you have 1 or 2 trades like myself, then I think it's a little bit, of a luxury trade when there's probably going to be an injury that costs you 20 or 30 a week next week or the week after. You know what I mean? So that's what I'd be looking at with your trades, just making sure that you are using them wisely and you're making big upgrades that are going to be, a 20-point upgrade or something like that for the rest of the year. And that could be with Cleary, but you are trading out someone, Hines, averaging 94.4. Yes, on the slide a little bit, but he won't get 22 again. And Moses averaging 73. So is Cleary going to be, 100-point player for the rest of the year? Maybe. Is he going to be a 90? Most likely. So, that could be an upgrade. And Moses has a buy in round 27. Definitely something you can think about, but I wouldn't be launching into that. I'd be, maybe, could get lucky, could get unlucky. Moses could go absolutely bonkers this week. Cleary has a lot of other people to get try assists, for example, as well. And you're not getting big points from his kicking game, unless it's forced dropouts, obviously, which you got a few of them last week, or 3 or so. But yeah, that's probably all I got to say on the Supercoach squad at the moment. We're just going to push our way back into that top 1,000. We spent most of the year there, and unfortunately we've fallen out, but that's okay. We'll get back there, and good luck in your teams this week.